Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day. And today, the Utah Jazz have signed Patty Mills to a 1-year, $3.3 million signing. And I like this signing for the Utah Jazz. Patty Mills is a guy who is sure at the end of his career at 36 years old, but he really showed some promising things in the recent Olympics. And he has a history with the current head coach, Will Hardy. Will Hardy spent 6 years with Patty Mills in San Antonio when Will Hardy was an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich's staff. And Patty Mills, of course, was very famous for his play with the San Antonio Spurs, so they have a history with each other. Now, I think with such a young roster, with a team that's filled with guard talent, young guard talent, Patty Mills could come in and not only be effective as a player, but as a mentor as well. This is a guy who, even at 36 years old, can still do some solid things on the court. He's still a guy who is a really good three-point shooter and a decent scorer if he gets solid minutes. I don't know if he'll get solid minutes, though, on this Jazz team, as they have a deep rotation. But he showed some really good things in the Olympics with Team Australia this year in the Olympics. He averaged 16.5 points per game in 4 games with Australia, showing some really good shooting splits, shooting 41% from the floor, 42% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. So he shot 41, 42, 100, which, you don't see often. I know it's only 4 games, but that's a guy who's shooting 40, 40, 100, which is terrific. That'd be terrific in the NBA. So not only has he done good things in the NBA and proved himself in the NBA, but he already has a history with the current head coach, and he has a strong Olympics. I think that's what pushed this signing. And honestly, with Patty Mills at the end of his career, and you could arguably say this could be his last season in the NBA with the Utah Jazz, potentially. Maybe this is potentially, this is just a prediction, a hunch I have. Maybe this is potentially building up to a maybe potential coaching job for Patty Mills. Maybe and look, that's assuming Will Hardy has a job after this season. I don't think he's in the hot seat. If I had to give a category of where I think the hot seat is for Will Hardy right now, I don't even think it's warm. But if the Jazz, as they still have Lauri Markkanen, I don't think the Jazz will be good next year. I still think they'll be one of the bottom teams in the Western Conference. But I would think if they have another bad season, I don't think his job is in jeopardy this season. After this year, I think he'll get another season because he's going into his 3rd season as a head coach. So I don't think his job is in jeopardy after this year. But if they have another bad year, and let's say they improve the team a little bit more after the 2024-25 season, I think when his seat starts to get hot is the 2025-26 season. I don't think his seat is hot right now, but I think if they have another bad year like they had this year, his seat will be warm going into the 2025-26 season, is what I believe. We'll see what happens though with him. But what my hunch is that once Patty Mills has decided he's gonna call it a career, and if the Utah Jazz is the last team he plays for, if he is a really good mentor to this Utah Jazz team, and Will Hardy really likes what he's seeing as a veteran leader and a mentor, I think Will Hardy definitely, if Patty Mills decides to call it a career after this season, could ask Patty Mills to potentially, join the Jazz coaching staff, which, so he has experience with Will Hardy. That would make sense. Now, Patty Mills just turned 36, so he just turned 36 a couple days ago. So if he decided after next season, after this season, as we can now say this season, as the new 2024-25 season is getting closer and closer, if he decided after the 24-25 season he's going to play again, that means he's going to be 37 years old before the 2025-26 season. We definitely see 37-year-old players play, but he's at the point of his career where he's starting to play less, and definitely, if if not retire from the NBA, I definitely could see him being a guy who goes and starts playing for an Australian team instead of playing in the NBA anymore. I think maybe this is my prediction. I think after this season with the Utah Jazz, I wouldn't be surprised if Patty Mills either retires and joins as an assistant coach for the Utah Jazz or starts going playing basketball in Australia. But Patty Mills had a solid season this year. He only played 32 games with 5 starts with the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat. In those 32 games with 5 starts, he played 13 minutes per game. He shot 35% from the floor and 27% for 3, which is terrible, but he didn't play a lot. I'm going to remind everybody that this is a guy in his career as a three-point shooter has shot 39% in his career. And even after a bad three-point shooting season this year, he still has a great three-point shooting percentage that didn't go down a lot. Now, with the Miami Heat, if you look at the differences in the two teams, with the Miami Heat, it was terrible, 20% from 3. Well, with the Hawks, he was great from 3, shooting 38%. But he averaged 4 points per game. He averaged a total of 1 rebound per game, 1 assist per game, and almost 1 steal per game. Now, if you look at the difference between the Hawks and the Heat, he played a little bit more with the Heat, but minutes-wise, and averaged 6 points per game compared to the 3 points per game with the Atlanta Hawks. I find it kind of impressive with the Miami Heat. In 16 minutes per game, he did average 6 points per game. I know that isn't terrible. That isn't great for him, but I just find it. I find it interesting that he was able to, go out there and drop 6 points tonight while struggling from 3 the way he was. I think if we see him shooting from 3 the way he normally has in his career, you could see him averaging 8-9 points per game a night, maybe more. Because he was averaging 6 points per game, which I'm not acting like 6 points per game is amazing. In the minutes he's playing, 6 points per game is not bad. 6 points per game for someone who's playing way more minutes than that is bad. But 6 points per game for someone who's only playing 15 minutes a night at 36 years old is not bad. And on a team that is filled with other players and who are getting the ball more and taking more shots. But also shooting 6 points per game while shooting 20% from 3 when he hasn't shot that bad from 3 in his whole career. And if we were going to talk about the last time he shot that low from 3 in his career was the 2014-15 season with the San Antonio Spurs, and that was only 34%. That's almost like half of that's almost 2 times more of what he shot this year from 3 with the Miami Heat. So he wasn't bad at all with the Miami Heat this year. Looked pretty solid with them. In the 2022-23 season with the Brooklyn Nets, he averaged 6 points per game, shooting a total of 50% on 2-pointers, and then from 3 he shot 37%. He shot 40% from 3 with Brooklyn in the 2021-22 season on 11.4 points per game, which is the highest points per game he's ever had in a season, or second highest. He did have some great years with the Spurs, though. In the 2019-20 season with the Spurs, 66 games with 1 start, 22 minutes per game. He averaged 12 points per game. He averaged 2 assists per game. And he shot a total of 38% from 3. 2020-21 season with the Spurs, 11 points per game. He had other really good years, with the Spurs as a 6-man candidate and also as the backup point guard. But it's not just 3-point shooting and scoring that he's good at. He's also really good defensively. So he'll help Utah with that as well. Let me know your thoughts on the Utah Jazz signing Patty Mills to a 1-year, $3.3 million deal in the comment section, and peace out.